So today we're going to teach you how to replace or repair a bridge that's lifting from the body of your guitar. Now, first thing I want to show you the materials that you're going to need. You're going to need some wood glue, a small razor blade of some sort. If you don't have one like this, just your regular razor blade will work. You're going to need some clamps, and you're going to need some wide enough to fit through the whole of the body of the guitar and clamp onto the bridge. These are 4.5-inch C-clamps. Also, you're going to need some Q-tips to remove any excess glue when we start the gluing process. And possibly a rag. That might be easier to wipe up some of the glue if you get way too much on there. So, first things first, the reason I'm replacing the bridge on this guitar body is because it was lifting due to the tension in the strings. So I've already gone through removing the strings and also the string pins, which I have over here. And so those have been removed. So the next step, and this will differ depending upon how your bridge is connected to the guitar, would be to take your razor blade and just right along the edges, just scrape along and cut through any of the lacquer that's going on. And since mine was already lifting, it was pretty easy to pry off. And you remove the bridge from the body of the guitar. Now, as you can see, this has an electrical wire attached to it. Mine is an acoustic-electric guitar, so just be mindful that when you're removing the bridge, especially if you have an acoustic-electric guitar, that you don't want to pull out any wiring. So one thing you'll want to note is whether or not your bridge has been glued directly to the wooden body of the guitar or to the lacquer. If it's been glued to the lacquer, we may want to do some additional scoring to the bottom of the bridge and to the lacquer area just to create a little more traction for that glue to attach to. In this case, the bridge was glued directly to the body of the guitar, so there is quite a bit of traction available for us to glue this back on. Still, I'm going to just make a few score marks on this bridge so that the glue has something to be a little more traction to. Alright, so then moving on to the gluing process, I'm going to take my wood glue. And you can use pretty much any wood glue. They don't really have any that's specific to guitars, but I would recommend wood glue over top of something like Elmer's glue. So we'll just apply a little here. Mindful of the holes of the bridge. Mindful of our wiring. And it's okay if you get a little bit of excess glue. We'll take care of that once we start clamping this down. So, finish with my glue. Going to push that wiring down, get this all lined up, and press it firmly into the body. And you'll see, you can't see so much on this side, I guess there's a little bit of glue popping out the edge. Once we clamp, we're gonna get in and clean that up. So, I have 3 clamps here. And the reason I have 3 is because I'm going to apply one to the side here, one to the side here, and one to the middle. So we're going to go in through the body of the guitar and start clamping right down. And one of the tricks of the clamping is that you want it tight, but not so tight that you squeeze out all of the glue from underneath the bridge. All right, so I've got one on there. And if you also want to put something underneath the leg of the clamps, you're welcome to do so if you're worried about scratching the guitar bridge. Maybe you have a lacquer on it or something. Totally up to you how you'd prefer to do that. So once you get all 3 clamps on there, You just take a Q-tip and you'll take any excess glue and just clean it up. One thing to also consider is having just a trash nearby so that you can get rid of your Q-tips a little more easily. You're going to want to let the glue set for about 2 days, so leave the guitar clamped for about 2 days. And once you're finished, you should be able to restring it, and hopefully everything worked out like you hoped it did. And that is how easily you're able to repair the bridge on an acoustic electric guitar.